It's showtime. What's up, comic book junkies? Welcome to anybody that came in on the replay. Tonight, we have Nighttiger's comic book art from the 1990s. I don't think I've ever showed it, so we're going to be doing that. I got keys, I got Golden Age. What the heck? Let's start this damn thing off. All right. Let's get a chat here and let's put the link in the description. One of my brothers is supposed to be coming on. Where the heck are you at? There he is. That better be him. All right. What? How did I go full screen? Hold on there. All right. Let's put this in the chat. Now, like I said, tonight will be the debut of Nighttiger's comic books that he drew in the 90s. Haven't showed that ever, I don't think. Maybe one or here or there. It's pretty good stuff. I'd say it was good. But I'm going to wait on that until I get my brother in here, until I get some other people in. Steve, if that's you up there, it's time to you to get in here. Come on, man. Where's this phone at? There's two watching. Make yourselves known. Who are you? Steve, I need a wingman. So whoever's in the chat, time to come on. All right, we're going to call Steve here. Let's put him on speaker. Let's put him on the spot. I love Disney and comics. If you're not subbed,
it's just me, man. I'm watching.
Yeah, come on, dude. Get on. Use your phone.
I gotta watch.
You gotta watch. I gotta watch too, and I got a phone, but you can still get on the computer. All right. I tried, people. I tried. They're disappointed, all two people out there. Steve, what happened? All right, Steve, we love you. Well, me and Steve were talking earlier. I scared him away. Let me show some stuff. I got some comic book art right here. If I get at least if I get 5 people watching, I'll start showing it. But it's not bad. If you want to see the comic books that I drew, and I have a lot of them. So stayed up to 2 a.m. this morning. There's Steve. I think, yeah, we got disconnected. Steve, get in here. Just looking through the Gerber guide. If you have these are just, I tell people you don't want these. They're a need for the collection. I did a little documentary on them, some videos back. Check it out. But I just looked through here. There's like 75% of all the Golden Age books. And if you just look through, you'll see stuff you've never seen before. And you'll see all the big books too, but obviously the big books are going to be big money. Some of this smaller stuff that's rarely seen, scarce that I say, that's the stuff I kind of like Jordan look for and see who's selling it on eBay. And sometimes you can find sellers that they don't know what it is. And you can get it for 20, 30 bucks, under 50. Okay, we got. So like I said, if I get 5 people watching soon, I'll start showing some art. Steve, I got that book right here, the comic I was telling you about that I drew because of that panel in Captain America. I should go get that panel since I only got you watching. Let me go get it. All right. Sorry for the dead air. What do we got? 2. I got my Captain America box here. This is the they're in alphabetical order, so this is the box with the Captain America title of all the books that comics I've read. So let's see if I can find the comic related to the topic that I want to talk about. I don't remember the number. I think I read it already. I mean, no, I did read it. I don't know if I put it in here though. John Byrne run. We're getting there now. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So here we go. There we go. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Hey Steve, how does my mic sound? I'm using this mic today. You had to walk Nana up so she could watch. Hey Nana, watch Nighttiger comics, Nana. Did you post you were going? I didn't. I should, shouldn't I? Let's see. Let's post. I could post Facebook too. Boom, boom, boom. I get it. I don't have a post though. What do I do? Boom. I'm confused. Okay, so I got this ads called ad text. You can choose a background and then add text to it really quick. Late night with guys. Sorry, I had a little gas. Nighttiger Comics live now. Space forward screen capture. Boom. Boom. I should have put Nighttiger Comics YouTube. Okay, go back. Layers. Thank you, man. Oh, we got 3 watching. Okay, we need 2 more. We're going to show the art. Nighttiger's original comic books that he drew in the 90s. And dudes, there are some really killer stuff in there. I'm not kidding you. I couldn't believe that. I just didn't have, I still haven't got the gumption to go back and to draw anymore because it's not like you can just pick it up. It takes practice to actually get back into it where you're as good as you were. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Instagram. Nextagram. Okay, how many we got? 3 still. Jacob Bornowski, what's up, Nighttiger? No space, please. 2 T's, 1 word. What's up, Disney and comics? Welcome. The brotherhood is starting to flow in. Late night. Oh, Nighttiger. Comics, YouTube, now. Should I put now, bitches? Late night, live, Nighttiger Comics, YouTube, now, bitches. No, I don't think I should put that. That probably is not a good thing. But it's a term of endearment. Dang it. I hate when I do this tag for comics and then it changes it to a capital. I don't want a capital. All right, that's done. Say a like on my therapist post. Go to Facebook. Go to your Out of Your Mind. I mean, Golden Age Comics. If I can find it. Oh, man, sweet post. Yes, 2 issues. Secret Missions. Come on, guys. Everybody wants that one. I haven't got it yet. Your groups. Why don't they on Facebook take you right to your groups? I mean, why do they assume that you want to go to other people's groups first? I don't get that. Rant out. Oh, so heads up. Jesse Simon is putting out a new comic book, bringing back all the prize heroes that his grandpa and Jack Kirby created, like Bullseye is one of them, Stuntman. You guys should check that out. I'm going to definitely purchase that, support the brother. Okay, so the word is out. We're up to 3. We need 2 more. I'll show the original art. I was outside rummaging through my toolbox, the one you put on the back of your pickup truck. I have it out underneath my bay window. And I found this in a plastic bag. So obviously I bought it from a yard sale. Is that camera out of focus? Let me see if I can focus this damn camera. That's out of focus. Is that better? That's better. Let's do a little spot. There you go. So guys, I am working on, of course, using computer to create an image of Ghost Rider on his cycle, replacing Rudolph at the head of Santa's reindeers, where they're whipping around through the moon. So I haven't had time yet to do that. I want to sit down. I can knock that out. I think it will look really cool. It's amazing when you learn how to use these apps and stuff that you can change art and just you can make so many creations. Okay, what do we got here? We got 4. We need 1 more. So let's read some comics. Let's read some comments and comics. Wow, I haven't seen a post from Jesse in a while. Yeah, he just texted me to show me. Oh, let me see if I can show you this. You're not gonna be able to see it very well. I'll send you the image, but it looks cool. It's got all those superheroes in it, like I said. He sent me some. Okay. So I'm talking to Jesse now. I'm going to tell him I'm live and I'm going to show about the project. So if you don't know, I'm talking about Jesse Simon is Joe Simon's grandson. I'm live now and talking about the project on the show. Live. So maybe we'll get Jesse Simon in here. Maybe we can get him in. Hey, I'll tell him link is in chat if he wants to get in. Maybe we get Jesse Simon on here. That'd be awesome, man. I haven't talked to him. I haven't got him on a video in a long time. Okay, so well, that's 7. Nice. So I can show my original art. Let's see if Jesse Simon gets in here. But I was going to show a project that he's working on. Gary B, what's up, man? I'm getting ready to show the original art. So he's working on this project. And I don't know if you could pick it up. This is the wraparound cover. Oh my goodness. How am I going to see that? If you could see, if you're familiar with the prize publishers, superheroes from the late 50s, even, all the way back to 1940, but you got Bullseye in there, Stuntman and right now I don't remember any of the others, but this is coming out. You can check it out online. It's called Shieldmaster Blast to the Past, SNK Heroes. And that's from, let's see that, Indiago, is that how you say it? Anyways, I'll spell it in the chat. If you want to order the book. So Indie Go-Go. Oh, Indie Go-Go. What how come I couldn't read that? Indie Go-Go project. So it's Shieldmaster Blast from the Past. Okay, so we got enough people in here. We got 2 people left. Screw you. I'm just kidding. Just trying to be funny. Okay, so me and Steve were talking. I was at the LCS. Let me change this thing. Comment. And I just, hey, what's up, everybody? My brothers, my brotherhood. So I was at a comic shop. There was two young girls, 18, 20, I don't know. They were talking amongst themselves, back and forth, going around the bins. And one said to the other, what should I get so-and-so? Like, he likes Marvel Comics. And the other girl's like, what I don't know. I don't know nothing about comics. So being me, I interjected myself. I had a second copy of this, second or third. I think it's third. Anytime I find that for $1, if you don't know this storyline, it's a must. It's John Byrne. The artist just, I saw this panel. I saw this book when I was like 12. And when I saw a certain panel in here, it just blew my mind. I wanted to go draw that panel. And at the time, I was starting to draw my own comics. So I created a whole character similar to Baron Blood, and interjected them with my superheroes, which were obviously rip-offs of everything DC and Marvel mashed together with my own ideas. And I'm going to show that panel in here, and I'm going to show the panel that I drew and the comic that I drew to start off the original comic book art. But here's the next issue. I read this. I don't even know how many times I've read this. It's just so good. So I gave her this. I said, hey, it's a known artist. It's a vampire. They're going to love this. Believe me. So I handed her that. And it was a 60% off back issue sale. So it was like 40 cents for the book. And then I handed her something else. And then I found two of these, which I didn't have. I think I handed her a Rob Liefeld, a Todd McFarlane cover from Conan. And then I handed her this. I found two of these for $1. And I say, this is a really popular character, and he's a vampire in here. I said, whoever loves Marvel is going to love this. And I didn't have it. So I found two. So I sent her away with three pretty good books for probably under $2. What's up, Paula Costa? Simon is here. So, dude, the link's in there for anybody who wants to get on. Simon, if you want to get on and promote your project, you're welcome to do so. I already talked about it, and I think it's going to be awesome, man, because I love those heroes from Prize Publishing. So anyways, I was talking about this. When I read this, I don't think I was 12, maybe 13. It just freaking blew my mind. The art, I'll buy this book every time I see it in a dollar bin if it's, really decent shape, because I want to give it to people to read. So there was a panel in here. I think it was Cap, if I remember. He climbed up a balcony. Where is that? Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't looked in this in quite a while. Yeah, I think it is, but we'll find it. We have to set the premise with that panel. Maybe it's in the next book. I don't remember. Almost to the end. Yeah, here it is. So I don't know if you can see it. So you got Baron von Blood. He's like stuck to the wall like a bat. And he climbs down from the top. Where is it? And then he hangs there. And then in the shadows, he goes through the balcony. And I thought, dang, man, just everything about that. You don't even need words. You just look at that and you're like, holy crap, where's my water? I left it in the other room. That's not good. Anyways, so man, it just blew me away as a kid. So I'm like, man, I'm going to draw. I'm drawing comics. Just, how it is. You get inspired by something. It's cool. So I created a whole new character after this storyline for my comics. And this right here. So here's the cover. It's all pencil. See, Vamrak was the character. He was part android and vampire. So that's how I got the name Vamrak. The name of my group is called Liberty League of America, obviously rip off of Justice League. They're more like the Fantastic Four, but I have some original characters. So this guy here is Odyssey, and actually he's a creation of a friend of mine that we used to get together and draw. And, a lot of my friends see me drawing. They wanted to get involved, even if they didn't draw. So they'd invent characters for me. So that was his character. And then you got in the background, we take it out of the bag. I don't want to show you. We'll go through it page by page. I don't know, but here you have Rubber Band, obviously Reed Richards takeoff. Beehive, which is Yellow Jacket ripoff. But here's the mansion. Here's the blood, some rain. Threw on some details. Whoever did this is dead, and then you have the human flame. So I changed them all later to be more original, but it's the human flame instead of the human torch. I'm reading the comments. So that's the cover of my comic, and you can see up here I started with 118. I'm at 144. So in between 118 and 144, there's a comic book here I have drawn. This is from December 1988, so that's pretty damn good. How old was I? I was born in 68, 88, so I was 20. But you know, I'm self-taught. I did get better. The more after I got really good, I didn't draw as much. So here's the splash page. So this is all I came up with, this whole story. I mean, there is this mansion. They're trying to find the identity of his father. So there he is. He's looking at some files and in the cabinet in a basement. Introduction by Vamrak. It's called Of Blood. So I went all out, man. I didn't go half-assed when I made my comics. So that's the splash page. It says here, I advise views with weak hearts not to venture these pages. I love to be alone by myself, create, still to this day. So here's the next page, which I think is really good. And you get the apparition at the window there of his mother. So he's actually, his thoughts are being overtaken by the vampire, and he's starting to see fears in his dreams. And I have to tell you, at the time, this is only 4 years after I found my mother dying from suicide. So a lot of that was therapy for me, to be alone, to think. So that's Odyssey. That was created by my friend Mike Lutz. He's on Facebook now. He's married to a younger Brazilian girl, and he looks happy. But dudes, okay, so that stuff was okay, but this page is pretty damn good, especially the techniques I used. Check out that. He's got him by the face. He came through the window of the balcony, like here in this Captain America comic, and grabs him by the face and crashes out the window. Now isn't that freaking cool? And look at that, he's in front of the moon at the bottom. Dio, what's up? It's another Brotherhood. The Brotherhood is just filling up here. 10 people. Nice. I have never showed or shared this stuff before with anybody. This is my original comic book art. So this is a full comic book. Detailed story, has character developmentization, it has subplots, action. So my inspiration was John Byrne and Kirby, two of my biggest artists, my two biggest heroes, two biggest influences on how I look at art when I put it on the page. We actually, and me and another guy who ended up being this really awesome inker, and we lost touch. We started a comic book, and we did it in the idea that it was going to be like a Jack Kirby style. And I think I may have the cover or the first page. We only got to like the second or third page, but this dude was an amazing inker. I only knew him for like a short while, and I wanted to be friends with him for a long time so I could learn how he inked, but I never had enough time to be with him. His name was Josh. Josh, if you remember Mike from 1989, 1988 there in Dunellen, when you lived in that crappy little house out there in Inglis, contact me, man. So here's the next page. Now we got Beehive. We got Human Flame patrolling over the city. You got a cityscape scene here. They're looking for Odyssey. They're like, what happened to him? Where did he go? I always liked this little star thing on Captain Marvel, so I took that. All right. Wow, I never showed this stuff. So here, Mark Bieniek, because he was German, was his identity. He was the Human Flame. He kind of stumbles on what looks like something happened. Maybe this is what happened to Odyssey. He's searching down in the basement. And then we get the meeting. They meet up to tell about what they found out. Here you get Vamrak appearing in the fog, and then he's going up to the balcony again. Good shit, man. I can't believe I haven't looked at this in quite a while. If you're on here on the replay, this is my original comic book art from 1988. I drew comic books. Any spare time I had, I was drawing. I used to have like a box like you find to get a lawnmower in, filled with notebooks. I don't know what happened to it. Obviously, I had some big turmoil in my childhood, and things got topsy-turvy for a while, and I don't remember stuff. But here he is again. Now he's over in the bedroom. This is just like the Captain America issue over Beehive. I don't remember his identity. Jack something. I don't remember his last name. Jack somebody is and then he's going to bite him, and it's a trap, obviously. Of course, it's a trap. That's the trope. It's a trap. So here we have, and this is a pretty good panel work on this next thing, but at the beginning, there's some good art on the top panel. Look at the blanket and stuff. So he's recovering. He was hypnotized. Rubber band breaks through the door, and then look at that. I got their jet, and then I cut it in panels like that. I mean, that's pretty advanced. Good layout, good panel work. I was learning. You can tell. You can just look at the different panels and tell. Okay, so that was it. Wait, one more. It's the last splash. You know, the one where the villain vows to get him. You know that trope. If I can get the damn thing out. I can't get it out. That's what he said. And that's what I'm saying. So, oh man, look at that. I dog-eared it. No way. What the heck? I have to press it. So there you got Vamrak vowing they won't get away. He'll get them. And then you have, so he's back at his castle, and so at the bottom you have them in their L-jet taking off towards his castle, basically. Obviously taken from Avengers. I think they were going after Doctor Doom or something like that. So that was a panel that I had mentally put in here, and dang it, didn't I get a stain on this damn thing? Man, it's not a 9.8 anymore. Gosh darn it. So that's just that one comic. Psychedelic Comics, what's up? What do we got in here? We got 13. So I'm showing my original comic book art. So next I'll show some colored stuff to kind of mix it up a little bit. So what I would do later, so I did everything in pencils, and then later I would Xerox it and then ink it and color it that way. So that is issue 144. I started at issue 118, so I have quite a few. And if I show you the beginning ones, they're horrible, but what can you do? I didn't know how to draw. It was all, I just sat down and I wanted to make a world. And I actually didn't even care that I couldn't draw. I just kept drawing and drawing. And the more that I drew, the more comic books that I read, especially from Marvel, the more I learned. And I just applied it. It fascinated me with Byrne how simple his lines were, how much you could get out of just very simple lines. Kirby was different. Kirby is like, he created his own anatomy. So you had to know how his anatomy was. You have to have like a database in your head of just reading Kirby and being able to tell his anatomy because it was just different. There's no even way to describe it, I don't even think. James, what's up? Dang, my brother's all coming in here. Man, I need some water. Steve, give me some water, please. Okay, just quickly segue. Here's a key. First appearance of Lady Rawhide. What is that? Adam Hughes. Zorro #3. Topps Comics. Dollar. I think I paid $3 for that. It's funny. I went to this. So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story here, y'all. I was up in Alabama, and they kept telling me there's a new collectible comic shop in town. And I'm like, oh, I gotta check that out. And so I started Googling and stuff like that. I found an address. I drove there. I was in my rig. So, I had to be careful where I pulled in and there was parking or whatever. So I kept passing where Google said, I'm like, where the heck's this place? I don't see no signs or nothing. So I pulled in. There was in the middle of town. Well, not in the middle, but going out, but it's still, stores and shops. There's a little mobile home right next to the convenience store in front of like a bigger warehouse. Says fish tanks open. Pull in there, and two girls are, I don't know what they're doing. They're fixing or painting something. I said, you guys know what a collectible shop? And they're like, it's right here. I'm like, oh, okay. So when I went in, they're like, oh yeah, it's the middle room. That's not a good sign. So I went in there, and they had like card tables set up with collectibles from like late 90s, 2000s, and newer. And that's pretty much what it was. And some comic books that were modern. They had this one there for 15. I mean, it was a nice copy, but I'm like, 15? I found it for 3. How can I pay 15 at this point? There's no going back. I can get as high as 5, but I was like, how pathetic. But then I thought in hindsight, good for them, They're entrepreneurs. They're trying something, so good for them. Hold on a sec. Milagro, are you up? Hold on. I need water, people. Han, or Milagro, could you do me a favor? Never mind. I'm already here. I need water really bad. My throat is dry. And I got 13 people watching me. Can you bring it to me? Okay. I gotta go pee. Sorry, guys. I forgot to bring my water in here. Whoever left, I can't blame you. All right, where was I at? Okay, so yeah, so it was a shop. Some, maybe who knows later I'll go back. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna get into some colored art, but before I do, nice. You know what I love about this book? That's a shadow, man. But what I love about this book, and I didn't really know who Dave Stevens was off the bat when I started like a few years ago, because that wasn't my jam. So when I had this, I never even knew that it was like Dave Stevens. But inside the panels, in the front and back cover, Jerry Iger tells the full history of Sheena, and it's just really cool. All the way back to like 39 in Europe, where they were doing a tabloid-sized thing called Rags. And he approached Eisner about doing a Tarzan ripoff, and Eisner didn't refuse, but he said that he only does original characters. He doesn't rip off other people's stuff. So he said, how about if we do a female Tarzan? It's never been done. And Iger's like, that's a great idea. And that's how it was born. So yeah, I think you can still find this book. I don't know. I found it in a dollar bin, so it can be found. Party. How you doing? What's up, James? Oro, Trops Run. Nice. All right, so I'm going to show you some colored art. Just different pieces. Some of it's just an idea I had. I threw it on paper, like this one. This guy's called Domino. Now this was way before X-Force Domino was even created. So, and he's a guy. He's crashing through the window. He's got like these metal bracelets that he used to break the glass. Just the concept. I was always practicing with window breaking because that's pretty hard to do. If you don't do it right, it just doesn't look good. So I practiced a lot with different techniques and window breaking, and read a lot of comics to see how other people did it. Crashing buildings, another tough one to do to make it look realistic. Basically, you use the dust to hide the bottom detail. That's a whole nother avenue when you get into drawing comics. So I had my own team called the Arcade. So 80s arcade was, was the thing. So I had a character, I might see it in here, called a Missile Commander. I had one called Defender. Who else did I have? I had Space Invader. Then I created another team called the Patriots with Captain Centennial, which is like Captain America. This was my Superman. He was United King. I didn't know. I was reading anatomy books. My parents got me that Fazetta. I think it was that Fazetta art book. And I was learning how to place muscles and stuff like that. Learning how to shade. This was probably like 1989. I don't remember. No, actually I didn't. And that's a funny story, James, because growing up in Milwaukee, we lived right across the street from a foundation, is that right? How I say it? Where they pour metal. It's a foundation, yeah. So they had all these little windows all the way up. I mean, thousands of them in this huge building, and it would go up a hill. You had railroad tracks where they delivered whatever it was, or take it up. Then you had this down, and then you had the factory, the foundation. And kids would go there and take the rocks from the railroads and break the windows. And that was a thing in my neighborhood. I never did it. I got in trouble, but I was smart enough to do things that I knew that I could not get caught, or I wouldn't get caught, or only went up to the edge of like being law breaking type thing. But they came to my house one day and asked hey, were you the one breaking them windows? I'm like, hell no. I only was like 7 or 8 years old at the time. So it's a good story. I grew up in the city. I was always climbing like in the back of those foundations. They had all those things they would make, like funnel, like tankers for liquid. And I used to go up to the top and look down and used to think, okay, I want to go down there, but can I get out? And I could never figure a way in my mind to get out of those tankers. So I would never go in them. But I was just playing all the metal structures and everything. So anyways, yeah, here comes the alibi. Okay, so I showed that. Here's a page. This is a comic book character that I created, and I started working on his first issue more than one time, like a bunch of times. And then it would be like, you put something down for too long, and then you're like, let me start over. So this is, I don't even remember, but this is an opening panel splash. So this is Omen X and his father. So he's the prince on this world where there's two different races. The other race they're called plasmogoblins, and they can turn into a red liquid. And they have wars. They try to live in peace, but it seems like they never can. There's a long backstory to it. I have a piece up on the wall right there of him, and another one down here. This may be, I think this is the cover of this issue right here. And then this is just a piece I did of two of my superheroes from another group I have called the Outcast. They're like the X-Men. You have Dr. X up in the background. Excuse me. Obviously, he has telekinetic powers, mind reading. This is Whisper. He's an American Indian in Canada, or he's a Canadian Indian. And then you have the Black Hole. He can jump, kind of like Nightcrawler. So I don't know. Is this, guys? Do you want to see comics? Tell me in the comments. What do you want to see? Would you rather see the art? I mean, here's some more of this Owen X comic book that I was doing. So he's down in the sewers. Newscaster up there. You can see I hadn't honed my faces yet and my necks. And then this one's really good. So there he is. I don't know, he splashed down in the water in the sewer, and one of the plasma goblins is under there. Grabs him, but he has these two bracelets. If he puts them together, they cause an electrical charge so that he can break free from their, like when they try to suffocate him or whatever you call it. Or and then here's another panel, again, showing the same thing. The plasma goblin's coming up over him. You can see under there under the street light. He's inside, and he hits his wrist together. And it just shocks him. Here's another panel of him running through this one's he's running through the sewers. And then here's just a one-off, like an ad. Omen X. So his dad wanted him to become the next king, and he didn't want to. He wanted to become a police officer. He wanted to fight crime on his planet. And he had been studying at the university, and then one day some criminals broke out of maximum prison there, some of the plasma goblin prisoners, and they fled in a ship and he chased them, and they both crash landed on the earth. Here's a opening. This has all the dialogue. So this is like kind of where she finds him, like Green Lantern. And this holograph comes on to explain who he is and stuff like that. I had this whole thing worked out that she's an FBI agent, and then she ends up marrying him. He gives a disguise like the guy, Jim Corrigan from The Spectre. It's called a Hologuise. Anything, guys? I mean, I could show comics. I got plenty here. I got Golden Age. I got Keys. Here's another kind of one-off cover or one that I started. So I learned early on, if you use a lot of silhouette, you can cheat on detail. So that's what that's all about. Try to make it cool. Try to not make it look like you're cheating, you know. So you can see all the plasma goblins there in the background over the trees and stuff. Suppose we landed in the Everglades here. Oh, that's better. See, I cut up one of my metal albums and drew on it. Metalheads all the way. Oh, this was a good one. So this is that. So this is the cover I just shown. Here's the first page. Now this is all done. It's good stuff too. I love this. Really good detail. They caught one of the plasma goblins right there. They're bringing him out of the ship to Omen X. This is Earthbound. You got a ship in the background with all the lights. I love it. I think I did really good on this. Nice colors. Of course, I'm using cheap markers from, like Ben Franklin's or whatever. So, and then I have the next page here. This one's got a really killer panel on it. Let me get a drink of water. So again, we got use of silhouettes at the top. Then we got close up on the eye. And then a great, like, thrusting forward with his blades that are on his wrists. Oh, that's another thing. He has blades on his wrists. Look how he did the panel with the double line. Give it a little graphic. It's a really good panel. At top one, I'm not so hot on. It's okay. But the next two are really good. I think the next two are professional level, in my opinion. What say you out there? Anybody draw out there? Come on, who draws? Don't say stick figures because I don't want that joke's too old. Here's another one of them. This is one of them on like a gargoyle. The Omen. So that was before I called him Omen X. I thought Omen was too generic. I need something more trademarkable. Obviously, rip off of Batman and Martian Manhunter, kind of. That was not bad. I like the panels. I use more those Prism professional markers. Actually, see, my dad had a friend who was a professor at the university, MTI, of art. And he actually would invite me to his studio, hang out with him. We'd collect stamps. I'd watch him draw because he would do commercial art for companies and stuff like that. I mean, he was a pretty prominent guy. He was a Dutch. He was like 6'6", and he had a Dutch accent. He looked Dutch. He had this. His name was Kromenhoek, so he had the beard and everything. Big, tall guy. Like, and he actually, I think he had a program on PBS for a while, doing art, just like Bob, whatever his name is. And he had a beautiful Japanese daughter too. I had a crush on. But yeah, he invited me to one of his classes over the summer. I took that. So, I did get art training. Just me, I never really pursued it, unfortunately. I actually had a job in graphic design. I was supposed to be doing senior year half and half, but my dad ended up having cancer. He moved the family to Florida like immediately after my mom committed suicide. And I was still in Wisconsin, and you had it set up for me to stay there, and I'd have been in an art career. But I just thought, I couldn't not be there when my dad passed away. So I moved to Florida, and I tell everybody here in Ocala, I just talked to a gentleman the other day. He's like, I don't know what it is. I can't get out here. I was like, I tell everybody that Ocala is purgatory. Nobody knows why they come here and nobody can get out. If I've heard one story, I've heard a million about that. Anyways, here's a nice one-page splash of him standing over like a sewer tunnel. You got the bricks in the background. You got the ladder going up. So I tried to, put some graphic into it to make it look real. So somebody's in distress. He hears like a faint echo of a cry, and he's following that, trying to find out who it is. These plasma golems, they can overtake humans' bodies, but they can only stay in for so long. And the longer they stay, the more it drains their life energy. So guys, get ready. Are you ready? Because this is the first comic that I ever drew, and it's pretty bad. I even put it together with Scotch tape, and the Scotch tape is just falling off it. So this is Liberty League of America #1, first issue. And obviously I did an homage to X-Men #1, I think. You got the ice, the snowballs coming forward, like on. That's even hard to see it. So that's where I started. That's the base when I started drawing. Created this original villain called the Demon. He was to be like the Doctor Doom for Fantastic Four, like their main go-to villain. So this is pretty bad stuff. So avert your eyes if you are squeamish. Straight line panels, and no thought to layouts. Just, I know what I wanted to happen. Let's make it happen. I know what I want to see. Let's put it down. Any comments? Come on, man. Guys, what's wrong with you? Tape. I mean, this is some harsh shit. Look at that. Look at Demon on the bottom. Demon on the bottom. That's the name of a song. Demon on the bottom. He's a little layer stubby with a long arm. He's blowing out it. And I even have the little arrows. Look at that, telling you where to go. Come on, man. It's the good stuff here. So here, then we have Quick Flash was his name. I'm like, how come I never named anybody Quick Flash? That's a cool name. He's going through time. Look at that. 1960, 1970, 1980. Come on, people. It's compelling. And then I don't know what's going on here. He's coming up through the concrete. Another world to rule by the demon. So there you go, issue 1, collector's item. First appearance. Now we have a team up comic. That's right. How was I? You know, I should have put a date on here. I think this is like probably like 80. It's got to be somewhere between 80. Okay. 82, 81, 82, I think. This is, I believe. So how old will I be? I'd be 12. So that'd be about right. Now, obviously, I was older when I did this one. It's much better. Team up with Flame and Icicle. So Icicle was another part of the Liberty League. Obviously, he was like Iceman. What's the name of that character? Escape is Impossible. Versus the Liberty League Hunter. So obviously, that's a ripoff of what is it called in the X-Men? The Sentinels. And this is pretty good work here. I mean, look at the muscles on this dude. You got some rumble. You got some sound action. Onomatopoeia there. So I'm trying to mimic Burn here with just simple line work, as simple as I can get it. And it's not bad. It's coming along. A lot of action. That was the best thing about drawing comics, is doing the heroes fighting somebody. Obviously, you got to have a story. So I did that. I had a story. I had a theme about why things happen. I just didn't have things happen. That's not the Marvel way. That's not the Nighttiger way. It's not the American way. This one's getting a little, it looks like I rushed it. It's like I wanted to, sometimes you work on a lot of these panels or pages, not these, but these are kind of faster. But I would spend 10 hours on a page. So by the time you got to like the last 3 you knew were coming, you're like, man, you kind of rushed them, and you had to stop yourself from doing that. When I got better, I'd pencil, ink, color, letter, and it'd take like 10 hours. So at the most, like on average, I mean, I'd had a banana nut coffee back in the 90s when I was drawing. Saturday night, be put on the coffee, banana nut coffee, go outside, smoke some cigarettes, and draw. After the priorities were done, wife was taken care of, kids went to bed. Now here we go with Nighttiger comics. This is Nighttiger number 1. The cover is not here. I think I had it out for some reason. So this is page 1 of the first issue of Nighttiger. A man, a soul, Nighttiger. So I started using computers to color the panels, and this was all done with original marker, but then I used computers to enhance it, fix it, make it look more professional. So you see, I put a number on the bottom right there. Okay, let's see. Who's going to bed? All right, Gary. Catch you later. Thanks for joining me. 7 watching. Guys, let me know what you think, I need some feedback here. So here's some more. This is good stuff here. This one I was getting really good coloring, and he's got ninjas after him. The arrows are flying. He's at the edge of the waterfall, and he jumps off into the mist. I wrote this with an idea that it could be made into a movie, and it would be one of the best damn movies ever. So he lands into the river. Now, this is all in South China. So he lands into the river, and then there's a crocodile after him. And then here, there's 3 crocodiles, and they're just attacking him, and he pulls out the claws and just starts ripping him to shreds. Now, this is all premised in him to him in a dream over and over and over while he's in the United States. He has no idea. He's a professor, the youngest professor at a university in archaeology, and mysteriously gets this I don't know what it is, but an assignment to go to China. He's been having nightmares. So then he meets his wife there. She's 100 years old or more, or thousands of years old. He doesn't know that she's his wife yet. He comes out of the river, and there she appears, Lady Strange, embraces him, and they disappear. So her cape, her cloak is like a dimension traveler. So she can travel through a dimension back into ours, wherever she chooses, within the jungle. She's under a curse to never leave the jungle or die because she's thousands of years old. Anyway, so then this is good stuff here. Then we cut to the capital of China. Here we have a helicopter coming in, and out steps Wild Hair. He's like in charge of security for the, I don't know what you call them, the premier. Or this I'm sorry, he's in charge of security for this corporation called Gentech, where they do genetic research. And then they're confronted with Shinto leader. He's also been hired by the same company, and of course, the security leader don't like it, and he wants to kind of throw his on the table, and the Shinto just puts him in his place. Look, buddy, I don't know if you care if you're in charge of security, but when it comes to who's in charge of overall security, I've been hired. So bow down, biage. That's basically what that's going on. And then we get over to here. We flash back. Nighttiger wakes up in the cave. It's the lair. It's the Nighttiger's lair. His history is explained to him because he's actually possessed by a 1,000-year-old spirit. And so it's explained to him what the origin of the spirit, what his duties are become, and all this stuff. And now that he's become the Nighttiger, he has a mission. The CEO or whatever, president of Gentech, and working with the government, they're supposedly harvesting poppy seeds, like the biggest harvest ever, in order to get enough money to fund this war that they are going to take to the world that involves this technology coming out of this corporation. And he's got to find that poppy field, and he's got to burn it. So he's on a mission now. And that's when all these assassins have been sent after him. Here we get backstory of the assassins, backstory of the director who was the director of Gentech. He gives you a backstory facility of or tour of the facility, and then you see Armageddon, basically like an Iron Man, but he's giant, like I forget whatever that Japanese guy, Ultraman type thing. He comes after Nighttiger because there's a prophecy that Nighttiger will come, that people will rise up at a certain time, and then that time is coming, and they know it. It's part of like the lore. I'm just made all this shit. So then here's the Nighttiger coming down the cliff to get to the river. Ninjas are after him. They make it to the river. It's nightfall, and they go down the Yangtze River. They're headed for, and you see here in the background, the lair is collapsed on all the ninjas in there. So he's headed to wherever he's got it. He doesn't know where he's going yet. He's trying to figure it out. But there's this mountain that has a big cave inside, like football fields wide, where they're harvesting this stuff. And this is the last panel here of them talking, meeting for the first time, but their husband and wife. He's come back after 100 years. So, awkward moments and stuff like that. And then here's just a advertisement I did for Inside the Comic. So vivid imagination, I do have. Create, I do like to do. Anybody have any? Hey, how's the score? Yeah, a little. I like that, Gary. That's true. A little extra into there. Yeah. I keep telling you, Mike, you got to start drawing again. I just haven't had the inspiration. Here's another one. I'll just go through some stuff quickly. Instead of explaining everything, I'll show you some books. This is Indestructible Man. So you got a whole comic there. So, like I said, when you did a lot of these comics, it took so long that I said, let me do some mini comics so that I can have fun, do different ones instead of having to concentrate on one for like 2 weeks. So what do we got here? So here we have another mini comic. I called this Hero Incorporated, like Brave and the Bold type thing. And this is Icicle Verse, 2 new characters I made villains called Strawberry Jam and Rice Pudding. So they had these guns, like Paste Pot Pete that could shoot jelly and rice pudding. I just thought it sounded like a cool combo name, like kind of vaudeville-y. Here's Odyssey again. I talked about him earlier. He got his own story. Mini comics versus Odyssey. And then what was this one? I wanted to do a comic that had 3 different stories in it. So look at this. So to mimic Marvel, so this was the king size annual. Has Karate Kid there, Odyssey. I forget that guy's name. Omen. I think that's in the first Omen X before I changed them. Then you got Jolly Roger, Electra Dude or something I don't remember. And then Assassin Bug. Is it Assassin Bug? I think it is Assassin Bug. Anyways, what the heck, peoples? Unknown Comics, Arcade Superhero. So here you go. You got the heads, the panel there. Missile Commander, Defender, and Asteroid. Come on, you guys. And then you guys draw there. I know I'm not the only one. So here's X-Breed. I don't remember. I think I changed their name to Outcast on the second issue. So I have a full color issue of this that I did. So they were Canadian. So Alpha Flight was Canadian. Well, in mine, the X-Men, they were Canadian. The whole group. They were genetically raised in the fetus with powers, and then when they came out of the facility, they were trained and raised. They never got to go outside until they broke out in their teens. You got to come up with a backstory. That's the most important thing in any comic book. I'm going to show this, and then I'm going to show comics, because I don't know if you guys are getting bored or not. I don't want to bore my audience. This next one is some of the best comic art that I've done. I think it's the last project. Here's actually the Nighttiger comic. Nope, that's not it. Cover. Combination Black Panther and Wolverine, and probably another few heroes in there. Well, I got the name was our cat had kittens and my daughter was naming them. She's like, Dad, how about this? How about this? She goes, Nighttiger. And I'm like, that sounds like a great name for a superhero. So here is, I don't forget the guy's name. I wrote a whole story on this, about this mirror, this magical mirror. But this is, just practicing with perspective. This comic here is really good. The art. I try to do my absolute best. Look at this. Look at the face. Look at all the action. Look at the layouts. Coloring. The Next Men by John Byrne. This is one of the Omen X panels. This is good. He's coming after him from the ceiling. He's walking through the sewers. See him turning into blood, plasma, dropping down on top of him. That's really cool. And then here, I don't remember if I showed you. Remember you saw that open splash page with the Omen X and his father, and they were standing on the balcony. This is the next page right here, where they have plasma goblins kind of breaking up the ceremony, crashing it. And then I did do a second issue of Nighttiger, the Nighttiger. So it has 2 issues. This is the cover for issue 2, where he begins to face off with, what did I call him? Armageddon. How long have I been doing this? An hour? So here's the cover. It's on the background. It just doesn't have the stars in it. So what I did is I put this in the art app and I blew it up 108%. And then I just dotted it with white dots all in the black, and then shrunk it back to normal size and printed it out. And it looked like all these stars in the background. So you got them crashing here on Earth inside the Cape. Here he is. And then you got the plasma goblins coming at him over here. What's up, Steven Spock? So here's one from Liberty League. But check out this panel work, dudes. Check out everything in. Look at that top panel with the blue flame. He's just coming down hard on that other guy. Look at this. They're trying to take out this guy up here. He's called a Myth. He's similar to Thor, but he's been tasked with guarding, I forget the name of it, Castle Skull or something, to never let the Omen X out. He cannot, to make sure he never comes out of his prison, which is his home on this mountain. And he's been there for 100 years. So I've actually plotted out the next issue where his duty has come to an halt. Liberty League has defeated the Omen X, put him into exile for good. Therefore, Myth has no reason or duty to stand on this. He has this pillar. that he stands where he guards. I'll show you here. If I can find the page. All right, come on, you know. Man, where's that panel at? Are you kidding me? The one I need to show. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, this is all out of order. Okay, so here's the cover. I'm still missing the page that I need. Here that is. Yeah, I actually did a lot of work on this book, and I haven't finished the dialogue yet. But man, I did a lot of work on it. This is my opus of the comic books because of how much detail and everything I put in it. So, how much thought process, everything, writing a story. Man, I'm trying to get to the one panel where I show you, but I can't find it. I don't see it here. Anyways, here's one of them. He's on the mountain, and they're coming at him. Not bad, not the best. There's another one. Here he throws. He's knocked off. Lumox, that's his name. Throwing the hammer, and then the hammer. Can't find it. So here, watch the hammer. Nice shot. So at this time, I've changed the character from Beehive to Vespis. He wears a helmet, clangs on a helmet, and they're just at it fighting. Blue Flame takes his shot. Here we got some more. I don't know what's this is the end. This is the end where they ended up confronting Omen X. Some nice inking work on my part right there. They destroy his castle. He's able to come out, and they take him out. I tell you the truth, I don't really remember much about it. Here's I don't know what this is, but this is the part where Myth is done, and then he's hailed as a hero for protecting. Oh, I think they trapped him inside some book or something. To go back and figure all that out. Here's another panel. I didn't get the words on it yet. Just a great one. It shows Beehive takes off his helmet. You get to see what he looks like underneath. We got the Lumox becomes like his normal self again. Then we got Blue Flame melting through a wall. Some really good stuff. I'm lost to the story. I just want to say, hey, what would Beehive look like underneath? So he's part insect. And I have another. I think I started working on another issue. But here's I think this is the origin of the demon. So he was like an ongoing storyline, but like subplotted sometimes through the comic. but he was always there. They knew they always had to deal with him. And this, I think this is the he morphed from my first guy I showed you in the very first comic, the demon. I morphed him to this guy, Omen X. So he's always been like their main villain. I think that's it on that. Then I did another comic called The Patriots. And you need to see the cover in order to really appreciate it, which I couldn't tell you where it is. Should be right here. Are you kidding me? You're not kidding me. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we got going here. That's just another panel from this book. Man, where is that cover? I'll show it, but you can't appreciate it with the cover. Which could be anywhere. Wow, there's stuff I forgot I did in here. Oh, here's that panel I wanted you to see, where he's on the cliff. Now I couldn't find that page. I would do is with the art app, take different panels from parts of the story to make like an ad. Pretty cool. Look at his eyes. So he's had to stand there for 100 years watching that castle. Here's another one I forgot I had done. I had a storyline already ready for this, with some creature comes from outer space. Great. I put a lot of detail in that one. I cannot find the cover for this. It's called The Patriots. But here you have your splash page. This is actually taken from one of the stories that came out of the Liberty League. So try to keep continuity in my comics. So there's, you got Ace of Spades. He's like Vance Astro. He has this covering over him that can't be broken or otherwise he'll die. He's like 100 years old or more. So some really good art here. He's coming out of the water. And you got two guys waiting for him with the tasers. There you got Captain Centennial and Defender. Then you have United King. Nice sky shot. And then here I didn't do the dialogue, so who knows where the story was. It's been so long, but really good art. Underwater with the seaweed. He's getting hit with that hook coming off one of the ships for loading. And I forget what's happening here. Captain Centennial is getting in. He gets in their boat and takes off. So what I did is I had this storyline called Superhero Island. And it begins with Myth falling out of his dimension onto Earth and then ends up in the hospital to find out this mystery of like old, like superheroes that are older from like 20, 30 years ago. People start realizing somebody does, where are they? And a lot of these heroes have been invitations to go to Superhero Island, and they can fight in tournaments and win money from the billionaire who owns the island. But if they lose, they're killed. And then a lot of times their bodies are dumped places to make it look like an accident or whatever in the city. But too many are being found, and so someone starts investigating, and that's what this comic is becoming about. And then you have this is Rising Glory. So he's part American, part Japanese. He works for the Japanese, though. It's like an international cop. Look at this, dudes. Now, what do you think of this? Nice bridge, huh? Nice bridge panel. Come on. Look at that far away shot. He's flatlining. They're hitting him with the, and you got the Kirby crackles there. They're hitting him with the defibrillators. Time to crank up the paddles, full power. Oh, this is one of the. So I think this is actually subplotting a story here while they're fighting the demon. Like I said, I was gearing up for a superhero island storyline. Here he wakes up from whatever and comes out of it, and he's like kind of freaks out. He doesn't know where he's at. Knocks out the guys, rips open the back, and jumps into the water. Okay, so that's where he's coming out of the water on this other panel. So he comes out of the water, like we said, onto the pier. Those two guys are waiting for him back there. With Demon sees him through his infrared far away, and United King goes in to help save him. There you go. All right. Been in an hour. Nobody wants to get in here. I mean, come on, people. What the heck? Get in here. Talk. Show some stuff. Now I'm going to show comics because I don't know if you guys are all interested in this stuff or not, because I have tons more. I do one panels. Mom, what is reptile dysfunction? And I gotta go pee. I need someone to get in here and like carry the show for a minute or two. Hint, hint. So then I also would do these, like, I don't know what you call them, like what Marvel did, and then you write up the origin, and then you maybe add a picture and then staple them together. So I would do that, like bios and stuff like that. Let's read this. Oh man, this is good stuff. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to run to the bathroom here in a minute. I better do it now, so I don't know what to do. Put up something. Oh yeah, I got this Funko Pop in the mail. Check it out. Be right back. Dang, I felt like the spy who shagged me. Dang it. All right. How many did I lose? Man, what a loyal crowd. Okay, here's just some of this Nighttiger would come up with as a kid. Get in here if you want. React to this stuff. So it says Operation Terminal Fetus Reversal. Update 1993. History. Successful operation. 12 infants born without mothers' terminal diseases. They were born without the mother's terminal diseases, each born with genetic side effects, although saving the infant's life. Great abnormal powers were contracted. much unknown until puberty when effects started to develop. April 10th, 1967, due to breach of security and primal testing of Dr. Xander's himself, OTFR compound and all knowledge disappears with Dr. X. Dr. Demon, other personality of Dr. Xander. So the doctor had two personalities. They couldn't exist at the same time. One was evil. Has been unsuccessful to duplicate OTFR compound. Each of the 12 experimental success were monitored and raised in Canadian government compound. May 1988 update. Breach of security, 5 OTFR project mutants escape compound in the Arctic Circle. Whereabouts unknown. Canadian government mutant police failure due to unexpected strength of each and also interference of United States government team Liberty League. There you go. Cited for recapture, Tenor, Whisper, Black Hole, Fireball, and Genie. So then I have Tenors right here. Obviously, he's like Banshee, has some kind of screaming power. Birth name, Pierre Tamli. Powers, extreme genetic alteration to vocal cords and box, able to emit vocal shock waves, measuring beyond 4.1 on the Richter scale. Train someone capacity of control, still many territories untested. Whereabouts, somewhere Northwest Territories, McKinsey Mountains, Canada. Height, 5'9". Hair, light brown. Eyes, blue. Unordinary features. Hair only grows from top of scalp. So, come on, let's create stuff, man. Fireball. Obviously, he was Cannonball from the New Mutants. Birth name, Aaron Weisner. You got to come up with a real believable name here. Powers, able to ignite oxygen surrounding his persons, making his body lighter than air. Testing has shown Fireball to have extraordinary strength. When jumping, Fireball may travel up to 1 mile at a time without any fatigue. Fireball may also stay ignited while conscious. When fatigue sets up, Fireball will lose ignition. According to testing, Fireball may reach temperatures of 5,200 degrees. Height 5'7", blonde, hair blonde and brown, eyes brown. Unordinary features, grows 2 different types hairs, one blonde, one brown. And so on and so forth. Black hole. Then we have the end of it. Oh, this is the doctor here, and then we have Whisper. So let's do the doctor. Top secret. So you need to. Oh, what's up, Mastodon? So I'm showing my original art and comics that I drew from 1980s and 1990s, and this is like a bio that I did for my team, the Outcasts. Here's the Professor X, Xander, and Dr. Demon. So top secret, code name Dr. X, birth name Daniel Xander, medical history 1963 Professor Xander working on genetic altering compound to save fetuses from uterine diseases. Before initial testing, Professor Xander experimented on himself to make sure compound is not fatal in any way. Although Compound X proved to be successful, but had side effects that were devastating. His personalities were split, creating 2 Daniel Xanders, one evil, the other normal or good. Past occupation. Why can't I say that? Occupation, or whatever, we're going with that for now. Scientist, inventor, professor, head scientist in charge of Operation Terminal Fetus Reversal, OTFR, top secret Canadian genetic securities, schooling, master's in biological, chemical medicine at Yale and Harvard, marital status unknown, minority strengths, telepath to extents unknown, whereabouts unknown. There you go. Yeah, I created all that stuff. Anyways, we shall move forward. What else? Do I have anything in here worth noteworthy? Most of it's just superhero stuff I drew. mostly comic books by Liberty League. And what else? So let me show you some of the X-Breed. So here's the cover. X-Breed #1. Canadian Shield stalks the fugitive. So Canadian Shield was who was sent after the Outcasts or the X-Breed. Now he has no idea what any other thing than his orders are just to capture him. So he's got a suit that's basically a computer. This is way before internet, Apple. This is before computers were thought to be able to be portable like that. Of course, with Iron Man, it was all speculated that it's going to be happening. So just they're in Canada. The X-Breed's chilling in a cabin and around the cabin. He's following some clues over here. Whisper's companion bird comes back, warning them that Canadian Shield is on their trail. He crashes through the window. The bird ends up killing himself. But Professor Xander pulls up the bird and reads his mind. And they're like, okay, we're off. We're going to be attacked. Okay, Canadian Shield's thinking that he's got the element of surprise, is there waiting. You can see Whispers invisible. The computer warns him he's there. Black Hole pops through and grabs him, but he defeats Black Hole. He ends up defeating all of them except for Genie. Genie enters his body. At some point, he figures out that they've been experimented on, and then he becomes their friend, no longer their enemy. So there, just vivid imagination of stuff. Let's show some comics. I think that's about it. I probably bored you guys to death, but it had to be done. I had to show it. I hadn't showed it ever. It'd be great to see you guys if you draw comics, to come on and show your art, your work, or whatever it is. I know that Time Travel Comics, Leo, I don't think he has he has a YouTube. Pretty good YouTube too. He's an artist. He does some professional work. I think he did it as a career. Here's one I just did. I just didn't do it. I mean, just experimenting with different things. Now here's the cover for that X-Breed files that I read. That's the cover. Here's the finished products with color and pictures. And this was the next comic I was with. This is an opening splash for issue 3, I think, or 2. So there's the cover right there. Oh yeah, here's issue 2 right here. Now they're called the Mutant Outcasts. Then back to #1 again. I just thought X-Breed was too close to X-Men. But since I'm copying, who cares, right? And that's Nighttiger's comics. For reals. For reals. So if you're catching this on the replay, thanks for staying this long. If you've been here already, dudes, the Christmas show is next week, Sunday. We're going to be giving away Christmas comic books from the Golden Age. I am. There are going to be other giveaways, some other comics. I know Alan. I twisted his arm. I said, Alan, you better give something away. So he's like, oh, huh? I was like, how about this? And I'm like, that's fine. Just give away something you want. That's my philosophy. If you want to get it, give it away. All right, so I stood up to 2 in the morning looking through my Gerbers, always looking for those scarce books, see if they're online. So let me tell you this, people. I bought this book right here, and it's been lost in the mail for a month. Which one is it? I don't know if you can see it. It's high grade. I got it for a steal because it's a pricey book. And I've been on the throat of the post office for a month. I go to my local, it didn't work. I call Washington. They didn't get back to me when they're supposed to. I called them back. They escalated to Consumer Affairs. Now I have to fill out stuff for lost mail. But I think, and this has happened before, I think, I'm not going to say out loud, but I think it was not delivered and maybe delivered personally to the person, if I could say that. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. I called all the shops in Jacksonville, said, look out for this book. This has happened to me before. And I did what I did. I got on the horn with Washington and I got all these investigations going, and that book showed up a month later mysteriously. So I talked to the seller. I'm like, from last they told me, they said it was lost, and I had to check with the lost department in Atlanta. I think me putting that pressure on again, it may have sent that book out of hiding of where it was, because the seller's like, I said, okay, let's just split it. And he's like, no, it's in Ocala. It's in Ocala. He said, it says it's in Ocala. I said, okay, I'll give it a week. So fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I've had troubles in the past, but if I'm going to do all that I can, I'm not going to have a regret. But if I don't do anything and lose a book like that, it's always going to be something I regret. Remember, you mail carriers are human too. How I knew the last book was stolen, I had no concrete proof. The lady came out and said, we're not allowed to tell you where the GPS last scanned the book if it's at an address, but it wasn't. Why do I keep going? Oh, thank you. It was at a vacant lot. I don't think she should have told me that, because I held on to that like a dog with a bone. I was all on these managers. If your person can't figure out how to deliver to an address, isn't that their job? Why won't you fire them? Why wouldn't you fire them? And they wouldn't give me an answer. So my wife said one day when I was on the road, hey, this book showed up. I'm like, I'm not expecting any book. And she says, I said, open it. And she says, it's a Popeye. And I'm like, whoa, that book, it's there. So if you put the pressure on these people, they know they got to show, they got to give an answer. And if it's on their route, they got to explain something to their managers. I sure hope that book shows up, because I'll be so happy. All right, let's show comics. Put this curve right here. So I just pulled some down, and I have some I haven't done a video on yet. So here's a Miss Fury. Anytime you can get these things, I paid $131 with shipping. This is, I think, one of the least ones that people want, even though they still want it, because she's not in any panels in here. I think the first page, she takes off the costume, and then she's like undercover type thing. But still, I'll take it. It's a great asset to my collection. I love it. Great colors, timely. Look at that big title. Just a really sexy Miss Fury. I mean, they don't much deviate from these poses. Most of them are almost the same on the covers. But what is that? It's from 1946. So what did I write on the back? I wrote sweet, classic, golden age, good girl cover. So I got it cheap because of 3/4 of a story page is missing. I'll take it. I'm the low end collector. I don't sell. I'm happy to have it. What about you guys? What do you think? Would you have? So I'm collecting Wiz Headline Comics 1 through 28. And this is the last issue that I wanted. I didn't just get this, I've had it. But these 23 to 28, they're all Simon and Kirby. They changed from a superhero war book to a crime book. And then Joe Simon and Jack Kirby actually take the initial run, and some of their best Good Girl art on those first 6 covers. Is it 6? Yeah. So that's pretty good. I like that. It looks very well done. Some of them aren't as good. This is one of the better ones. But collectors really will pay. Man, these books like 1.8s are like $100. So I was picking them up years ago. I was trying to really knock them out. I think I'm missing like 1, maybe 2. I think only 1 of that initial run. But I do have many of the 1 through 22. As a matter of fact, sometimes, where is it? Sometimes you miss. Maybe you hit, and then one time you just really not miss bad, but you overpay. That's the case with this book. And I passed on a Headline Comics #1 years ago for 100. I was missing centerfold. I should have bought that. This book is really tough. So I purchased this one. I don't know how. I didn't realize it was a copy cover. It's missing 5 wraps. Now, I was okay with that if it had original cover for the price, but I think I paid like $20 too much for this. Do I regret it? Nah, I don't want to. It looks good. Good placeholder, but now I have to buy another one if I see it at a good price. If I had the cover here, the missing wraps, not big deal. I would be okay with it. But I like to have the original cover. I think I have 3, 4 Golden Age books with reproduction covers, and it's kind of like it just sticks in you a little bit. But other than that, and the only thing is, I thought the inner wraps were missing. It's the outer wraps. So I'm thinking the Ranger story's not even there. I'm almost sure it's not because it's the first appearance, and I think that's probably they probably pulled that off. So yeah, so this is a big miss. I haven't had a big miss in a while. So, and that's from 1943. When I paid 46 shipped with this thing and tax, so I wouldn't pay more than 26. So I really overpaid, but it's a placeholder. What are you gonna do? I'm good. I'll read what's there. I'll enjoy it. All right, where we at here? You got any damn comments in here? Okay, let's see. Library 68. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I could. You know how it is. Time is limited for me. If I ever have, like, hopefully when the house is paid off, I can take off a week here and there when I want. I might do I'll do more projects. With the holidays and everything, I didn't even get any time. I wanted to do the live show, but I really needed to throw some videos that I have finished up, but I haven't. So I don't know. Maybe Wednesday I'll get something out for Friday. I got a bunch of Blackie Blacks, 2 of those, and I got 3 Golden Age Blues already done. I got to do a haul here. Pull this one down. I see this book just going up and up and up, thanks to my good buddy Joe. He got me a nice, decent copy. I didn't have money at the time when there was a nice listing up. I sent that to Jerry the Jitterbug. He got it. This book, I think I just saw it almost like $450 now in a 3.0. And this is definitely more than a 3.0. It's a semi uncommon book in the Wiz. Matter of fact, I just bought a 3rd copy of a Golden Age Key. I'm not going to say what it is until I get it because I want to show it, but it's a first team up between 2 DC characters. And I already got 2 copies, and it's pretty tough to get. I saw one just show up for less than $50, so I had to grab it. I didn't have the money, but this is new. I can't believe I got this, man. I love this book. A bunch of my brothers, Steve, Joe, are really trying to pick up this World War II stuff. We just love it. I don't know. It's just so cool. And I am trying to get every War Stamp comic that I can get for under $50. So here's another one. That's number 55, 56, July 44. I am so happy to have this. My war bond, my war stamp cover collection is coming along really good. Thank you, eBay. Thank you, Job. Thank you, God. This book, man. So this book came with a detached cover. So what happened was I got some Reme paper from my buddy Jerry the Jitterbug, but I've been using it quite a bit soaking covers, so it wears out. So I had to throw a piece out and I only have one. So I couldn't really encase the book in these brackets here. So you lay the Reme, which is a document protector. Water goes through it, and then you wet the cover, and then you put the other Reme on top, wet it, and then you can encase it with those, and then soak it. But since I didn't only had one Reme, which I forgot about when I was like, man, I was excited to do this. I'm like, I'm going to do it somehow. So I did. I used one of those grates. I put one Reme down. I put the cover down, and I got it wet. It was detached. I had it has a pencil name on it, and here it is. I tried to get that off. It was too deep, and so I left it. So what I did was I took a jar, I filled it with water, and I put 2 drops of dish soap, and I stirred it. And as I ran the water over the comic, then I would just lightly brush away the dirt. No pressure at all. If it wouldn't come off without pressure, it had to stay. So it came out pretty good. It looks high grade, actually. You should see the backs. Now, on the back borders and the whites, I did use bleach. So I took another jar and I put 1 drop of bleach, mixed it. And then as I make sure I keep running the water over the procedure as I'm doing it and brush the white borders on the ad on the back with bleach water. But as you're doing it, you're washing it away at the same time. So you don't want nothing to stay in the book after you get it done. Then you just hand dry it or with towels, press it down on a flat surface. Lay your paper towels down, put your cover there with your Reme. Put your towels over. I didn't have another Reme, so I just put towels over the top and actually flip the book. So I was putting paper towels on actual back of the cover and keeping the cover on the Reme. And just press it until you can't get any moisture out with your hands. And then you put a heavy glass or board and put weight on it and you let it sit there for a couple hours to push the rest of the moisture out of it. And then you can press it after that. And while you're doing that, it presses it flat. As it came out really good. I'm very happy with this, man. It looks so nice. I had it on the wall. I had these 2 on the wall next to each other, man. I was comic creaming. So there you go. So that's a pretty tough book to get too. I got it for, what did I get this for? Tax, shipping, whatever, $41.73. What was this one? So which one was less? Let me see. Okay, you guys take a guess on which one costs less. So there is $15 difference in these 2 books. Come on. Everybody take a guess. So I told you that this one was $41.73. So was this one more or less? The Wiz was what? More or less? It was only. See, stop. Good thing your is only the cover. Good thing. Okay, so the junior was cheaper, says library. Steve says the Wiz was less. So that would make the Wiz like 20 something. Well, I guess if you're only two guessing, the Wiz was more. So this one was $56. That one was 41.73. So the better, but this one's all attached. No, wait, this one's all attached and it's complete. This one is all, the cover's detached and some wraps are detached. And I'm gonna be honest with you people, this was a poor quality production book. They had wraps that were up and wraps that were down and wraps that were out, and those parts were frayed. And I thought it was just not straightened out, which is usually the case. So I went to straighten this book, and it was not. They was just, if it was one that got away, who knows? I don't know. So Nighttiger did is I trimmed it here and here still. Because this baby's, if I ever sell it, I'll say it is complete, but it is a trim book. But you couldn't even fit it in the bag. It was so bad, the production on the putting it together. And numerous wraps were still stapled, so you could tell that it wasn't, haphazardly placed. They were just, I don't know what happened. I don't know. So I'm gonna trim that bitch. It's gonna stay in my collection. It's gonna look nice. So there you go. This one, I have to look. I know they sent me an offer on this one. I think this one was listed at $39.99. I found this one quickly, jumped on it. So I don't know how long it was up there. I'm not having success with putting the new listings and then going Golden Age. I'm having more success going like year to year. And then the filters putting Golden Age comics and novels or whatever, and just best match. I just found that other book today the same way. I'm having better luck doing that. So I'll start out today. I started at 1940. I'll go like 5 pages in because I will remember what's there already. I've been doing this quite a while, so you can remember the books that have been sitting because the prices are awful or they're just an awful book. So I go 40, 41, 42, 44 today, 45, 46. I hit 47. I hit a gem for less than 50. So I picked up a third copy of a key. And I wanted to hand it off to somebody else, but there's just some books that either I discover them as the key or they already a key in database, but nobody ever showed them or I've never seen them before. And when I show them, people are like, they never heard of the book. Those kind of books, they like become my favorites and I want to have more of them and more of them. I was looking at this book right here today. This book is just going up and up and up. Hold on. I have it here. I know I do. It's a pre-code horror book. What did I do with my pre-code horror box? That's not it. Is this it? Nope. It's over here then. Man, where is that box at? Oh man, I hate this. Oh, so many comics. Is this it? This is it. Okay, so this is the pre-code horror box here. I'm starting to love the fact when your comic room's a mess. It feels more comfortable, right? Are you with me, brothers? So if your comic book room's a mess, do you feel more comfortable in it? I'm beginning to. I used to be a neat freak about it, but I'm starting to just like it. Like it's like lived in. Okay, this book. Now the thing about collecting Golden Age, if you're coming like me you want to collect scarce cheap crap. you got to know what you're looking for. You got to keep learning about it. You got to keep looking. Even if you're not going to buy, look at it, see what record the prices in your head. So this book here, I just seen it for 800 or something like that. It was a pretty good price. It was a 0.5 for, let's look it up, man. It's like, let's look this up. How do we do this? Share screen with, okay. Okay, how do we do this? I'm not sure how to do this, guys. Okay, I think I know. Let's go to remove. Let's hit this. I thought we were in. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I'll try to show it like this. I got to figure that out. Okay, let's look this book up because I was shocked by the price I saw on it. Key Comics. Buy now. Golden Age. Here it is. 3.5. So let me see. This one's probably like 3.0, and this one's maybe 2.5. $415. Now, obviously, if you go to my comic shop, it's going to be a lot less. Probably be like $400. But what did I pay for these books? Okay, this one I paid $34 for. And what did I pay for that one? Oh, this is a 4.5. I don't have the number listed here. It's probably in the database, but I know I didn't pay more than $50 for that one. I bought this one in August 22, and I bought this one in November 22. Well, it goes to show you that's a good look at that. If I sell it for $300, I made quite a bit of money. Not bragging, but I'm telling you can do this. If you want to, just like I said, go 1940, Best Match, Golden Age, comics, and go through and scrolling. You got to do this. I probably do it 2-3 times a week, if not more, if not less. I mean, you got to keep doing it. When you're doing it, then you learn about the books that are there, prices they're going for, and then you back search. Like if you see a book, I go to cover price. Let me see what the sales are. What's the average sale for this book? That way, you know when you hit these books that what prices you should be paying. Say, for me, I'm looking for that $30 gem, but I'm willing to go about 50. So I got that leeway, and they're there, man. I'm telling you. Like here's one right here. So this book is going up and up. So I got some good investments. Like I said, I bought a third copy of that key. That book doesn't really have a value yet because it hasn't hit what it is. And it's a pretty big key. So this book shipping was $22.88. This is a really hard book to get. It's a pre-code good girl and even Western gypsy bondage cover. That was my comic shop. Another one. So my buddy Joe told me, you got to check out the new listings on my comic shop daily. Man, can you find deals? But you got to be the first one there, and you got to be constantly checking. This book, could I flip it? I could probably flip it for around 80 to 100, maybe. It's just so hard to get. So if you want to complete the run, there you go. If you like bondage, pre-code, that's cheap for a book like that. It's a nice, presentable condition. It needs a good dry clean. It's really dirty. But I am really trying to put together the most extensive pre-code Western Good Girl collection. So I'm getting all those odd books that people don't know about. And one day I'll catalog it as a collection. And you can do that. So as long as you keep teaching yourself, keep learning, and collecting a certain thing that nobody else is, you at some point will obviously become more of an expert on that thing, that subgenre, than anybody else. And that'll be your jam, and that'll be your focus and your channel, or whatever it is. All right, brother. Take care. Infinity screen. Yeah, I got to figure out how to do that. I just don't have time to come and practice. I usually just jump right on. So what have I been? You're 2 hours? Dang. We'll do 8:30. That'll give me time to read some comics tonight. Oh, so I got this in. So my buddy Steve, who doesn't want to come on, I love Disney. We're actively collecting war bond loan covers. He's doing a little more broader. He's collecting magazines and things of those nature from that era with the stamps and the letters. I'm going to stick into the comics. So here's one, Famous Funnies 120. It's a Fifth War Loan cover. Great trope. So what do I mean great trope? Look at this book I got a couple weeks ago. Got the same trope on it. Let me get Steve off my infinity screen. Steve, get the heck out of there. Really cool. I wish they would have done the lettering in yellow or something. I just picked this up, man. These books are on the rise. And I've been finding them high grades. This has a coupon cut out of it, but was less than $16 and is really high grade. So for my personal collection, I'm trying to collect all the WoW, every one of them, and I got quite an extensive collection of them. And the last 6 were this Aussie guy who was like basically like Archie, but you still have your floating head superheroes over here. That's so cool. Great colors in here on the superhero panels. What's up? Hi, Aaliyah, bro. Dude, open mic, get in here. I'm putting it in again. Come and play in the sandbox. Don't be afraid. Go to the lights. So yeah, good trope. So that's 1944, July. What I paid for this? $17. I had to have it. So I'm collecting like War Bond, that genre over here, like a little collection. I'm collecting all the WoWs. I'm collecting Western Good Girl. Basically anything that's pre-code, I'm collecting it. So I just posted this. Someone posted this on Facebook, so I grabbed my copy out. He was making a comment that it's so true. You never find these books like over 2.0s. This is like a 1.8, but just they're kidnapping that Korean girl, fighting leathernecks. 1952. These are tough books to get, man. As I'm telling you, just be looking constantly for stuff like that's pre-code. Good Girl. You saw that if you saw that on eBay for 25, even $29.99, it'd be like better snatch it up. Snatch it up, hold on to it for a while, flip it for $20 if you want. $20 more. So I got this in this one. Paid 17 for that. It's a War Bond cover. Famous Funnies, 131, June 45. But I already had it. I had to have a better copy, but for $17. What a great book. I've had this book on my wall. It's just so cool. Just the kids playing like little rascals, doing a fake parade to raise money to sell war bonds. I mean, how cool is that? I don't have what I paid on the back of the other one. I think I paid a bit more, like $30. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, everybody. I had a great Thanksgiving. Man, I got to hang out with my grandkids, my nieces. It was awesome. What else do I have in here? I picked up some dollar books. I showed this one already. They had a 60% off sale, so that was at 40 cents. And then I just picked up this cool Arthur Adams issue. And what else do I got here? Let's see. I think this is my reading pile here. So I'm actually in the middle of reading this. This is a cool book. I picked this up for $10. You can see it's Newsstand, Todd McFarlane. It also is a Mark Jewelers. So for this is from 1991, I think. Let me look at it. So from 1988, Mark Jewelers. It's actually a pretty good issue. I love the art in here. It was really good. Great cover. I was so happy. I mean, I picked it up for 10. I felt like, I paid a little too much. But it was a newsstand, and then I got out there and checked it. When I saw that Mark Jewelers, I was happy. If you don't know what a Mark Jewelers is, you're too young to be watching this. I'm just kidding. There's some dollar stuff I haven't read. Frank Frazetta cover. So this is like in my go-to box that I take with me on the road, but I've decided to take smaller package instead of this big box. So I've been taking like 4 or 5 comics. I got multiples on this thing. I just love this Giffen Moon Knight cover. Great storyline. Early Moon Knight. Before he got the look change. Whoa. That was a $1 book. I think 50 cents. This was 50 cents, but I think I read this one already. This is the last issue. Got a nice atomic bomb cover there. You dirty damn ape! You dirty ape! It's 80s, guys. I'm like, why do I have this? But it is 80s, isn't it? Yeah. I've never been a huge X-Men reader, but I haven't not been either. Blade Runner. Boom. I remember when I went to see this as a kid. I was like, so dark. I didn't know what was going on. Facsimile. Ooh, look at that shine. You got DC's letter to the parents, assuring them that this is all up and up. No bondage here. I read this one, so I can put this away. Great cover, man. Great cover. And then they reprint this later in the series with a kind of a little bit different scheme. So I got to get that one. But this is another book. So I bought this for, I think, $35 shipped. And I thought, man, this is such a great comic. I want to find another one in the same grade for this similar price. I'm still looking. Because even for lower grades, they're asking a lot more money than $35. And I don't blame him. I'm always collecting the women's smoking covers. Now this one is coated, but it is just so cool anyway. It's from 1957. Beautiful high grade. And you'll be amazed at the collectors that go nuts over these high grade, early silver, golden age romance books. You will be amazed. This is a nice Halloween cover right here. $0.15. February 61. Why is that 15 cents? Isn't that supposed to be 12 or 10? It's not a giant. So I know that there were variants, 50-cent variants in the Dell. I'm guessing this is one of them, maybe. Didn't look it up. I got it for 50 cents just because the cover was cool for Halloween. What else? What else are we doing here, peoples? I got more comics. Don't you worry your little pretty heads. I don't know if you want to see pre-code horror because didn't we just do that? Did we have Halloween? What do we got here? My faucet book. My faucet. Here we go. This is some cool shit right here. I can see a cool LB Cole book right now. So, guys, I'll show you some killer books until 8:30, and then I'll let you get back to the wives, football, whatever it is. So I started actively looking for these star comics. So White Rider, and Super Horse. Number 11, LB Cole cover. This is for September 1950. Active looking for them. Found this one for less than $22 shipped. And it's not going to happen today. This was back in 2001. I'm still looking. So you always keep your eye on stuff like this. Keep your eye on it. You got it already. If another one pops up, inexpensive, because you know what it is already, you know what the retail is and how much of a deal something is, grab it and trade it or sell it. It's amazing how comics can make money for you. Now, I do it as an investment. Who knows what later on when I need money, I'll sell it, but I don't need it right now. We got pre-code. I think that was A-OK. Nope. Bought that for $25 from a comic shop in town. Western Kid. It's a really nice copy. I know it is because I wouldn't pay $25 if it wasn't. Joe Maneely, it looks like. What do we got here? Okay, I just love this. It's a Canadian comic. It's actually a panel out of the book, but the art on that is just really good. That's Jack Kamen. I don't know. It's just, I saw this book. I wanted it. I waited to find one under 50. I got this one for 49. This book goes for quite a bit of money. Quite a bit. There are several other issues that have better Good Girl covers. I have never even seen them for sale. I'm actively looking to hopefully be that first one to get to that good deal. So this is from April 1950. It's a Canadian comic. Obviously, it's republishing, I would guess, EC Romance. What else? So we don't look at that. This is a disappointing book. Now I did get it for $5 in it. It needed some major pressing on it and stuff. It was out of whack. It's missing a piece of the cover. But this is from 1950. As you can see, it's All-Star Comics. It's cool, but the story in here, the opening story with the the Justice Society or whatever the heroes are, the art is just so bad. So bad. So is the story. Now the backup features, it's much better. But I could have wow, how could this? I don't know it was just so bad. That's all I could say. It was there was nothing there. It was no meat on the bone whatsoever. But $5, DC All-Star Comics, it's worth it. What do we got here? We got some Dave McKay. So this book needs a good spine roll removal on it. I know this is missing centerfold. Or let's see, I have the price here. Yep, missing centerfold on this from 1946, but it was $46. Mandrake. Obviously, this book goes for money. It's all there. Nice in condition. I don't know too much about it. It's not a book that comes up for sale too often, and it's not really one that interests too many people. I'm a big Mandrake fan because I just think his covers are great, and I've been collecting all the Magic comic covers with him, which are extremely hard to find. My goal here at this channel is to get everybody collecting Golden Age. Forget that Marvel key crap. Move on. It's been done. That modern stuff, don't waste your money. There's no investment in it whatsoever. Here's where the investment long term is going to be when you begin to learn about books that nobody else knows about. Here's an auction one for $100. This is a Basil Wolverton cover. Really great art inside here. Dang. When I won this, it was like one of my earliest big horror pre-code books. I was so excited. I thought I never would own this. I thought I never would. I never thought I would own a Blue Bolt Star Pub. So not particularly this issue. I do own another one now. But come on. This book has resale value. If nothing, I can get the money I spent into it already. I know that. So I won't lose money if I try to sell it. Now, on a good day, yeah, I could probably make a little extra. But this is because of the condition and the book. It's not one of the bigger ones that people want. So it doesn't gain value as quickly or as much, if that makes any sense. Some Marvel. Amazing Adventures. What is this? This only landed a couple issues. This is actually the last issue. Kirby monster cover inside. Paid $50. November 61. Number 6. These are just tough. The Amazing Adventures ones, they're tougher ones to get because they didn't last very long. Here's another publication and White Rider and Super Horse. That'll be cool cover. It's reprints with the original cover by Star Publication. Genius idea. When you're that good of an artist, if you give somebody an original cover and reprints, they're still going to be satisfied. As long as it's all Golden Age stuff. So what is this? December 1950. And what did I get? I got this for $32 back in December of 21, so 2 years ago. Somebody showed this on a YouTube channel, and then I went searching, and then I was on the hunt, actively looking. That's how it usually happens. Here's a nice one. This is low grade, man. I've been trying to get a complete copy of this book. Wait, is this complete? I think this is missing either one or two centerfolds. But look at that cover. It's from 1941. It's Superhero, Dell's original, Professor Supermind and Son. And I paid $24 shipped. Now that's a great placeholder right there. This book just screams Golden Age. I've read some of these stories. They're so cool. How the sci-fi technology in there is just like so off. Like they were measuring electrical current by horsepower at one, and I thought that was funny. This is a really cool comic. I'm so glad. I have numerous. I think I have them all except the first appearance so far in Popular Comics. This was a good one. Now, funny thing about this is a nice, scarce bondage good girl cover. But I was able to find 2 of these books from 2 different sellers within a span of maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I bought up the other one, and I thought, man, what a great giveaway. And I gave it away on the channel. I forget why. I think Roger got it. Bedrog But now you try to find it, people, if they have it, a lot of money. But you never know. So you got to just keep looking. Sometimes these books like this are on my list, mental list. I look and look and look and look and look, and nothing ever pops up. Then I forget about it. Maybe 6 months go by and go, hey, I haven't checked that listing yet. Check it, and boom, there's one for 35. So it's all about doing. It's all about working. I'm preaching to the brotherhood here on YouTube. Hail Golden Age. So this was an investment book. I didn't really care about this. Al Felstein. I need to really work on this book and straighten it out, and I think it will look much better. And maybe, I think it's detached. I can do a soak on it and make it look pretty high grade. But Junior. So this is a book that I put too much money in. But I think if I straighten it out, clean it up, maybe I can get it to be the higher grade book. Because these are always in low grade. It needs a spine correction, cover spine straightened. I'm hoping if it's detached that I can do it. I'll do a soak on it. So if you guys are getting into experiment like me, staple replacement is the hardest of the whole process. Well, you have to learn not to disturb those holes in a way that people can tell that you replace the staple back in it. And that's pretty tough. It takes skill, patience. So when you're going to get into soaking and stuff like that, that's where your skill is going to have to develop the most. Number 12 and March 48. Ooh, all right, 9 more minutes. Man, these live shows. What else? Oh yeah, here's a heroic. It's not a bad copy. Actually, what number is this? Are you kidding me? No, it's 11. I have number 8 on the way. I have 4 so far. With the one that's coming, I have 4 issues of this. All the early ones of the superhero. So Hydra Man is created by Bill Everett. Then you got Man of Steel. It's a really thick comic book. You got to use the bigger Golden Age Mylar, the 8-inch. That's from 1942. I'm trying to get all of them. They're such a great series. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. Side boob shot cover. I just saw one on eBay. I think it was $40. Jumbo Comics, number 73. Jump on it. It's the only side boob shot I've seen on Jumbo Comics. And I've looked. $119, 1949. She's getting a little out of shape there. How about this one? People pay big money for these issues. What did I find this one for? $50 even. I think I won this at an auction. Babe, Darling of the Hills. I got to read that. It looks really weird. But that's what I like. I like weird. British comic. The seller. I bought something from the seller. And I said, wow, that looks cool. And he's like, you want to buy it? You want to buy it? I'm like, no. He goes, come on, buy it. And I bought it. Now this is an annual, British annual. Robot cover. I paid $33 for this. Actually, it's reprints from American Golden Age comics, and this was really good. It had a lot of Charlton reprints in it. Nazi cover. This is Nazi cover. He's up on the U-boat or sub or whatever it is, knocking the guy off. They took out the liner in the background. You got some Hitler. Number 43, 1944. Oh my goodness, my arm. Yikes. Another Hitler. Another Hitler. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I had surgery on both shoulders in the last 2 years. I haven't really started working out yet. I actually did 10 push-ups the other day for the first time and 10 pull-ups. I want to shout out Automatic Comics. He sold this to me on eBay for a steal. I paid $139 shipped. These books usually go up to like $350 to $400. The Uncle Sam issues. And this is the last Uncle Sam issue. We got a crime book here, some weird crime book called The Informer. This is Captain America cover, reproduction cover. Mr. Jesse Simon sent that over to me for free when I bought a book from him. Some more LB Cole. 3D. Let's see what time it is, fellas. We got 6 minutes. 4 minutes. High grade copy of this. Avon Geronimo Indian Fighter. Look at the colors on that. That blue is just gorgeous. Great cover. Kinsler, I think. 1950, number 1. What else we got here? We got another LB Cole cover. Crime Fighting Detective. I picked this up for $15 because it was missing centerfold. The Rangers. I think BWD might have sent this to me. An AOK, Big White Dog on Instagram. Getting ready to send me another epic AOK for Christmas, that dog. All right, where we at, boys, girls? Another LB Cole in here. And we'll do Kirby, and then we'll do an LB Cole. So Witches, Western Tales by Harvey. It's coded, so that's 1955. Kirby cover, Joe Simon. And then we'll hit it off with this one. It's an LB Cole. Looks like I might have to press this one too and put it. It's the Outlaws. Trying to collect. I think I'm missing one. I think there's 4 or 5. I can't remember. So it's LB Cole with Fox reprints. He did original covers. And the issue 1 was something like Sheriffs and Outlaws. Just a gorgeous cover. You look in the sky, it says The Grim Avenger. September 53. There you go. What do you guys think? Huh? You guys ready for work tomorrow? I gotta make a delivery. I gotta leave a little bit earlier. Actually, I gotta check to see how far away this place is. It's in Georgia. Because I definitely want to make the delivery on time. Otherwise, it won't look good for me if I don't. I work for a great company. They never ask me to do anything. I mean, they never tell me to do anything. They ask me to do stuff. But it's like you can't say no, because if you do, nobody will want you to work with them. Thanks to Tom Ryan for sending that. I just started reading it. I got to get back to it. So first appearance of Black Hawk. Military Comics #1. So this is what I do. I separate the ones that I haven't read from the ones that I've read. And then I file them away. In the other room. that way, everything in here I know, except for the Golden Age. But if I want to read something, I can just pull it out of a box, and I know that it's something I haven't read yet. If that doesn't make any sense, then I don't know what does. Okay. And sometimes, like if I've read this maybe 100 times in reprints and books or whatever, if I get a facsimile, I read it again. If I get whatever, a reprint, I read it again. I want to read it again because I know it's good. Okay, I needed to put this in there. I'm really excited I got that book, especially just for the great price. Once I think by maybe the end of next year, I'm gonna catalog the Good Girl collection of Western books and make a database about it so that people can go and make a checklist if they want to do it. And I want to put some more shelves up here. Wait, up here. So I'm waiting to get some money to do that. Man, because just all this stuff, man, it's like I want to see it. I want it on a wall. I don't want it in a box. Well, we're past 8:30. Do you know where your comic book collectors are tonight? They're at Nighttiger Comics late night. Guys, let me run the end here, and I'll let you get back to your lives. Appreciate you, brothers, hanging out here in the sandbox with all the cool kids here on Nighttiger Comics.